Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to do patterns today, specifically a holiday pattern, since that's where we are. And there's some planning that has to go into this. As you can see, I have things gridded out. It's 1 inch by 1 inch squares, and I have things going on at each sort of intersection. And I've plotted out what image I want to go sort of in between those intersections. And eventually this will get digitized and expanded so that it's a repeating pattern. But for right now, we're just trying to come up with our motif here. So again, I have the 1 by 1 squares. And then every 2 squares over and 2 squares down, I just put a little dot, and that's going to sort of help me separate things out. And eventually, I think I'm going to turn those dots into snowflakes. And then we have a multitude of things, but we have candy cane, penguin, holly leaf, owl, another holly leaf, and a polar bear, a gingerbread woman, a snowman, a candy cane, a reindeer, a gingerbread man, and a bunny. And yeah, I think so. Yeah, these 2 lines are sort of the unique things, and then they'll just sort of be repeated. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go in and start drawing things, and I'll erase all of these guidelines. And then I'll start going in with color. So I'm going to rush through all of that so that you can see everything happen. But just make sure you have a bit of a plan before you start doing this. And then I'll make a whole separate video out of how to digitize this. All right, here we go. Okay, so those are our illustrations. And it will start repeating with this line up and below, and then it'll just repeat with the penguin, snowman, bear, polar bear this way, and that's sort of the layout that we have. But for right now, I'm gonna go in with my Unipen, and I'm just going to enhance all the lines here and then erase everything around it so that we can see exactly what the start of our pattern looks like. All right. Y'all, my thumb is numb. Ugh. Okay, one more row of snowflakes, and then I'm gonna fill in with some circles and stuff. So, almost done. Okay. Okay, so we have spaces here where there's maybe a little bit too much empty space than I would like. So I'm just gonna come in with really simple, just circles to look like snow falling. And that's how I'm gonna fill in some of these spaces. Like some of these where they're overlapping is fine. Like this area is probably fine. I'll put some circles around here, circles on this side, definitely some circles out here. And I'm gonna make circles of different sizes, so just for some variety. Okay, so I think that filled up enough space. So here's our marker version or inked version. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of color, Christmassy colors. Not too much right now because I don't want to get too complicated. And I actually don't want to introduce too much color because then it will get kind of confusing. I'm just gonna focus on some greens and some reds right now. But if you're liking this with no color, then this is a good place to stop for you. What I am gonna do is come in with an eraser and get rid of all those pencil marks. Okay. All right. So here is a good point to stop and scan what you've got so far, just so that you have a black and white version of it. I am going to go ahead and put some color on just because you can get rid of the color even after you scan it once you put it in Photoshop, if you have a Photoshop. But if you don't have Photoshop, scan this version now in case you put colors on that maybe you don't like. But I want to go in and at least paint some reds and some greens. I am going to leave sort of a small indications of highlights just because that's part of my style. I like to always have some kind of highlight and shadow. And why I'm watercoloring this now is because I do want the final product to have sort of a handmade feel to it. So I want to put in some color with my watercolors just so that it doesn't feel super digital once I'm finished repeating the pattern. Probably using Illustrator for that. Okay, so I'm just going to go in a couple places with the green, and then I'm going to come back with some red. Alright, so those are my greens. I do recognize I might need some other colors in here as well, like pink for the little cheeks that I did not outline in ink because I wanted those cheeks to be a little bit softer. So I have some pinks and a little orange for the carrot nose here. So there will be some other colors included. And I'll probably do the gingerbread man a brownish color. Okay, and these little holly berries, I'm going to leave a little bit of a highlight. And even with the candy cane, I'm going to leave a little sort of white streak sort of going through the middle of these red sections just to show a little bit of shine. Okay, I'm not gonna color any of the animals in just because if I start one, you have to do all of them. And maybe I'll play around that one once it's digitized. But last thing I think I'm gonna do is just the orange for all the little beaks and the snowman nose. Okay. So again, I'm going to digitize this later, but this is our Christmas pattern. Got lots of animals in here. We got our penguin, snowman, polar bear, owl, reindeer, bunny, and a little gingerbread man. So again, in another video, I'll show you exactly how you expand this out. And probably I'll add a bunch of different colors, see how it works with like a different colored backgrounds. I'll probably do a blue background, maybe a turquoise or teal background, maybe a navy blue. So we'll see how all those variations look in later videos. Thank you. Happy holidays.